It started 8 months ago.
Yeah, that's something.
I sent Neri an email. It was that simple because I thought she was doing really interesting things.
Well, it was a very exciting collaboration. It started after the work was presented at Pompidou, and Iris sent me an email to discuss working together and collaborating.
I found out about 3D printing and I thought it was really interesting because I was already trying to create three-dimensional. So I found out about the 3D printing and it sort of opened a new world, like thinking differently, because handwork has certain limitations that you can actually create with the 3D printing. So I started doing some parts for the body, but I'm really happy that we could make the next step now to create something flexible. And I think it becomes a really interesting profession. And it sort of opens a new world, like thinking differently. It's funny because the collection is about energy, about voltage, because we as humans are really bad in getting our energy out. So for me personally, this dress visualizes like this tension of the body that it wants to go out, but we are just not able.
At the very beginning, we tried to create a piece of clothing that was seamless. So using the 3D printing technology, specifically objects multi-material printing technology, to redefine couture by replacing handwork with code. You can now print continuous surfaces without seams or without parts, and they're just gradients, almost like gradients of energy, only gradients of material that vary in property and size and flexibility and complexity. Instead of the constraints being material, the constraints are now environmental, like air, like light, like humidity, and you can now design for almost for immaterial constraints with 3D printing.
Well, this was the first experiment with flexible 3D printing. I really hope it develops and it might even come to the ready-to-wear. And that means that I can imagine people having their body scan in future and they can order a dress on their own size. That would fill up the gap between haute couture and ready-to-wear. That would be really interesting. Because we are still used to wear clothes that don't fit, and I think that's kind of old-fashioned.
There are options to vary material properties, but also to use highly complex geometries in relatively short periods of time is completely transforming the fashion industry as we know it.